Hey everyone. I hope that you are all doing well. I thought that I would go live this evening. Um I need to invite, I'm not sure if my daughter is on here because that's going to be my special guest tonight. And here's what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about um becoming authentically you, but why it's important for you to become you. So, let me see if she is on here. Hold on a second. Are you on? Sorry, you guys. I'm doing this off of here, off of my thing here. So let's see. Um, Let me see if I can invite her. Okay, I'm getting ready to invite her. I don't know why I just don't do it automatically, but let me let me send this to her. This is kind of weird that it don't just pop up. Um, Give me a minute. Well, while we're waiting, I want to say thanks for joining. If you are on, if you aren't, we're just going to be talking anyway. Hey, so you are on. Okay. Um, I don't know if I can hear you. No, it's not you, it's me. It's not. Okay, there you go. I can hear you now, girl. Thanks for joining me, baby. All right. So, I wanted to say thanks for joining, and I just want to have a conversation. This is a long overdue conversation on from Ruby's daughter about what Ruby's daughter is doing. Okay, so for you guys who don't know, I'm Michelle Hardy, and I am the CEO and founder of Ruby's Daughter. What is Ruby's Daughter? Ruby's Daughter is a safe space and place for you to heal, grow, prosper, and develop into your authentic self, into that destined purpose and design that God has always intended and created for you to be in. Most of us, uh, let me say it this way, either you are in transformation, you might be being nudged about transformation, or you might be in full fledged. I'm in there. Like, I can't see myself going back. You at one of those phases. So Ruby's Daughter is a safe place, again, for you to heal, to grow, develop, and to become authentically yourself, that self that God has always destined you to be. Most of us don't operate there because to get to your destined destiny, you have to uncover some of the hurt and have to heal from some of the places by which we've been traumatized. We'll talk about that in a minute. But for the sake of time, I want to say thank you to my daughter. This is my daughter Yolanda Hannah. I want to say thank you for joining mom today. And we have such wonderful conversations. I need to do one with all of us girls, because I have three girls, and it is wonderful to hear the perspective of all three. Um, and their development and their growth on them becoming their authentic selves. I want to start because what prompted me to have this, let's see, can I add oh, it does allow you. I'm using this new thing, you guys, and I'm using Restream, and I'm not really familiar with Restream, but Restream allows you to be on all of your platforms. So While I'm streaming on Facebook, I'm streaming on Instagram, and I'm streaming on YouTube. So I like it because I don't have to be splicing and dicing. I'm just not going to be able to do that. It just takes too much. It's a lot. Um, I'm already scuffling, you guys. That's why I don't get out here as often as I should, is because yeah, I hired a person. I'm happy about that. Okay. I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this definition. So let me share. Okay. All right. Can you see that? Okay. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because I had never seen this in the Bible. So, before I even get into um before I even get into this scripture, I want to talk to this audience about, I'm not here to try to change your mind on who you believe in. I'm not here to argue with you about religious philosophy and or spirituality. That belongs to you. Whatever that looks like for you, it's going to belong to you. If you told me, Michelle, I believe in the doorknobs, that's cool. If the doorknobs is getting you where it is that you need to be, I'm cool with that. That has no bearing on me. But what I am saying is that the God that I serve, um, is a God that leads me to my destination. And I'm hoping and praying that whoever you're serving or whoever you believe in, or if you don't believe, that it is getting you to where it is that you are destined to be. Because I do not believe for any reason or for any purpose. And as a matter of fact, I know that we were not created just for ourselves. We were created for a much larger purpose. And that purpose is to serve. We're going to talk about that again, maybe tomorrow, about serving. Today, we're going to talk about becoming. Because, what two arrows, girl? Right here? Okay. So, oh, y'all didn't want to see all my other stuff. Okay, whatever, whatever. Um, but this is about you becoming. You, since God created, and I believe in God, since God created his ecosystem, he created each and every one of us with a plan and a purpose. Your plan and your purpose is your destined is your destined um is your destined if you were to call it a job, it's not a job, it's your purpose, it's your destined purpose. You were created by God for a specific purpose. If you are a twin, you are still very different from your twin. If we were to do the fingerprints, your fingerprints would still be very different. I have known my purpose in life since I was a little girl. My daughter, who's on here with me today, I've known her purpose since she was a little girl because she's always demonstrated something in the capacity of her purpose. And I'll let her tell you who she is. Um, but I want us to get a good definition of why it is important for you to become. It's important for you to become because that's what you were created to do. It is your unique gift to God. It is God's unique gift to you. It is your unique gift to your circle, your family, your friends, your community, your world. When you become who it is that God has always destined you to be, you help this world become lighter, brighter. You're giving your gifting. Not only has God given you the gift so that you can unlock it, once you unlock your gift, when you start to become the person who God has destined you to be, you unlock someone else. And I think I told a friend this some time ago. I always have had this picture or this thing in my head that I see myself putting a key in the door. And as I turn the key says click, 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 click. Because I've unlocked myself, I can now unlock those that are around me. Those around me unlock someone else, and it's just a cycle. That's a good cycle to have repeated. You continually becoming who you were destined to be. So, with that said, I want to start with the word become. As this group is called Becoming Authentically You, I want to start with that word. It is important that you become your authentic self. You cannot get to anything that you have been destined to have. You may hit or miss as they call it, but to be who God truly intended you to be, you have to become the person that you were intended to be. It took me a very long time to realize that who I was is definitely not who I am today. Who I am today is the person that God is challenging me or asking me to become the better version so that I can be of use and of service to God's kingdom, to God, his kingdom, and those that are around me. I think tomorrow we'll talk about serving, because if you are not serving God's people, if you are not helping them, if you're not helping God's people with a problem, then you're on the wrong path. Everything that God has created us for was to serve and to give back. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. So become your authentic self. I, I, I'm I'm gonna tell my age. I'm 59 years old, and this is the first time I have ever seen this in God's word. This comes out of the Amplified version. It says Philippians 2:8 Amplified Bible. After he was found in terms of his outward appearance as a man, for a divinely appointed time, he humbled himself still further by becoming obedient to the Father to the point of death, even death on a cross. You have to die to yourself. You have that appearance, that outward, that mask, that thing that you got. You have to let it go, because if you don't, you will never become. We'll now go into the definition. To become into existence, to come to be, to undergo change or development, to be suitable to. God is one of the most profound beings, God is who he says he is. And he already knew, and he's such a wordsmith, that you would have to come into existence, that you couldn't bring yourself as you are today to do what it is that he's called you to do. You have to come to be. You have to undergo a change. It has to be developed, and you have to be suitable to be used. Okay, I'm going to stop with the definition right there. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to talk about becoming, because we have these conversations at home all the time. Uh, it's not a secret. And my kids know that you had to be you. Okay. So, just in case, I'll let her introduce herself. That's my baby, but I'm gonna let her introduce herself. maybe about 12, 13 years. Yeah. But now when you say in college, they're probably thinking, well, yeah, you went to college, you learned. No, it's not that. It's a little different. Child. She called it a tussle, y'all. Hmm. Well, let me talk about how it is incredibly hard. First of all, let's talk about becoming and how you become. Because when you become, it is not some um, through trauma that you become the other person. It's not that I just decided one day I'm gonna wake up, and maybe for some it is, maybe for some it is, but for most people that I've talked to and experienced, you become after you done gone through some sort of traumatic something. It's something that rocks you so hard that you be like, oh, come on through. I can't do this, not another moment. So that's usually how you become. That's usually when you become a willing participant because you're not willing before. If God was, I have this analogy where I say this: God shows you a frame, just like we're in this framework right now. Okay, we're talking about becoming, and He shows you the beginning, and He shows you the He shows you the final. This is where you are now, and this is where you're going to be, and you be looking like, oh, okay. I look, I receive it. Mhm, mhm. 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 Come on. Mm-mm. 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 Come on. Mhm. 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 Yep. Yep. Mhm. So as you were talking, he does give you he gives you the good he gives you the good glimpses. Sometimes if you're real in tune, he'll get if you can handle it, if you can handle it, he'll show you no, mm, that ain't for you. But usually for me, I get the good glimpses, which means I get the beginning and I get the end because I'm a pest. God knows I'm a pest. I be pesting him every day about when. But I thought you said this was gonna happen today. Like, no, I didn't tell you, but you said. Mm-mm. So he gives me the beginning and he gives me the end. I, I believe if he showed you the in between, you would look at God and say, "No, hold up, you got me twisted. You got me twisted. You got me twisted." I know you don't think I'm getting ready to go through that. No, I'm gonna take the 100. I'm gonna sit on down, and you can have all the rest of that because I'm not going through none of that. Mm, mm. Mhm. Ooh, yes we would. Yes we would. Oh, I'm gonna tear you down all the way, baby. Child. Mm, mm. I ain't gonna be able to do it. You somebody else for this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Come on, baby. Yes. 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 Oh my. She will hold it in, and I promise y'all that is not the household she came from. No, it's not. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Mm, come on. Yes, yes. Hmm. Hmm. So- You don't. The gems, I'm sorry. The gems are underneath the pain. You ain't got to them yet. You just holding on by a thread because I don't even know what did happen here. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. So so one we've already identified is spiritual. Um, I think we talked about early on to come into existence. Like you had to come into existence to come to be. That's where we are. We're coming to be. We're undergoing change. And let's talk about becoming because becoming is not something that happens once. Like this is a lifetime journey. This is a lifetime journey. This is something that once you get a glimpse, let me say this, once you get a glimpse and a hint and a sniff of where you going, I promise you don't even look back. You be like, back for what? There is nothing back there. I don't even know what happened back there, but check this out. I'm not going to be able to go back that way at all because there's nothing back there for me. But I'm not gonna say, I would be remiss in saying if uh, that one, that this journey is easy because it's not. Two, that it's a sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice. There's so many things that you sacrifice along the way. Um, you sacrifice that old you. Well, you don't want to be bothered with that no way. Once you get to, you see the glimpse of who you're becoming and why you're becoming that way. You don't want nothing to do with that old self because that old self was, you'd be like, who in the world? I wouldn't know me back then if that was me. That was me. Oh my gosh, that's scary. But you get to see who God has created and fashioned you to be, and it's such a refreshing place. Like everything that you've ever wanted. Can you say this? Like everything that you've ever wanted is in who you're becoming and where you're going. It's that it's peaceful. It's yeah. Because at first is that's not how it happens at first. Because at first you're at war. You're at war with yourself. You're at war with God. You at war with the people around you. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, 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 yes. And all of this is about you unraveling, becoming authentically you. You doing things that make more sense to you. You understand why you're doing them, not because you were taught to do them, but why do I do that? To start to question. Oh, it is. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. 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 That's right. Yes. Hmm. 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 Ideologies. That's right. That's right. Hmm. You know. Yes. But none of that was it. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? So let me give you a little backstory because she hit upon it, but she is a traumatic brain injury survivor. She was down for the count. She coded a couple times, Lord forbid. It was not what we expected. But even in what I didn't expect, God was still gracious enough to me to give me insight into what he was doing. I remember that I was supposed to teach a Bible study class, and I came home and I was sick. My sinuses, which I still suffer from today, was kicking my butt. I had taken some Sudafed. That's when the Sudafed was real, real. You take them Sudafed, you going straight to bed. And he said, "Oh yeah, you're gonna need to get some rest. You're gonna need it." I didn't pay no attention. I'm thinking he's saying I'm gonna need it because it's Bible study. I'm gonna be teaching yada yada yada. I didn't understand what he was telling me. Well, I heard my youngest daughter and my middle daughter, I should say, in the back, and she was hollering about something. I said, "What is this child back here hollering on this phone for?" And I heard her saying, "Lady, I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "Sasha, yeah, some lady keeps calling here, and I don't know what she's talking about. I said, well, the next time she calls, you just give me the phone. Okay, baby, just give me the phone. And she called, and that was the nurse from the hospital to tell me that Yolanda had passed out on a friend's bathroom in the floor, and that she had what did she say? What did she say to me? She said that you had she didn't say a head injury. She said a head something. And I said, okay, well, you're gonna have to give me the definition. As y'all see, I start with definition. So I didn't know exactly what it was she was trying to communicate to me because I wasn't getting it. I said, well, one, is it something like she was in an accident, she bumped her head and she on her way? Or no, two, is it something like an aneurysm or something? She said, no, it's something like an aneurysm. I said, oh, okay. God, even in his infinite wisdom, was still gracious enough to tell me his plan. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. He said to me, I said to God, okay, now I don't know what this is all about, and this is big. I don't know what this is about, but you're gonna have to help me with this one. He said, well, don't worry. She's gonna be all right. But what I need for you to have is faith. I need you to do everything I ask you to do. Even if you don't understand it, I need you to do it. And I thought, even then, he was gracious enough to give me a glimpse. But in the terms of becoming, as I look back, he was prepping her and me way back then. So becoming authentically you is not something that just starts. Once you get into the swing of things, and once you get into the transformation of you becoming who God is expecting you to become, that's it. But it's about to be a wild ride. Yeah. The ups, the downs. I'm not sure. Oh my God. It's all of that. Yeah. But no, it's for your benefit. It may be scary, but it's for your benefit. You so I want to end on this note because we went a little over, but I want to end on this note. We talk a good game about manifestation, becoming who I'm a master manifester and yada yada yada, and I'm authentically me. Take some time. It's not comfortable. If you able to say it, if you're able to say it, it doesn't. It doesn't. Mm-mm. Continual. It's a continual process. Yeah. Yes we do. Experiences. And they're gone. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. But I want to say this before we close out. This channel again was created to teach, train, motivate, and encourage those on the journey of healing so that they can become what God has always destined you to be and to operate in your divine given purpose. And I realize that I knew my purpose. I've known my daughter's purpose for quite some time, but I realized that not all people know their purpose or how to even get to their purpose. All of that is up underneath the pain and the hurt and the trauma of what we carry on a daily basis, what we've told ourselves and what we've allowed others to tell us. And that's not who you are. That's not who you are. That's not who God created you to be. You were created with something in your hand to do, not just for yourself, but again, for God's glory and for others. And if we are not operating in that capacity, we are never, you will never get where God has destined you to be. Oh, and by the way, you becoming authentically you unlocks other people. And it is the most bliss. I'm not going to say it's without, I'm not going to ever tell you it's without um, frustration. I'm not going to tell you that sometimes it's the most joyous place for you to be. But once you work through whatever it is that you work through, I tell you, you will never want to turn back. My God. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. And that voice is the voice. If you are a Christian, or if you call yourself a Christian, whatever it is you call yourself, it's that Holy Spirit voice. It's that God voice. It's the voice that's leading you. Your second voice. I always told my kids this. Your first thought is your God conscience. Your second thought is you. You trying to convince yourself of what God just told you ain't right. Your first thought is your God conscience. That's that. Listen to it. It's that. It's right. Listen to the voice. It's not lying to you. With that said, it is 8:46. Baby girl, we're gonna have to do a part two because there's so many things that we did not talk about. But there's so thank you. There's so many things that I want to share. Even mother-daughter time, which I think is fascinating. We're gonna have to do another one so we can talk about some of the other topics that we talk about. But yes, and to get that's when we're gonna bring the other kids in. I'll bring my other girls in so that we can have um, mother daughter time and talk. And I don't know what I will call it, but I hope it will encourage other moms and daughters to get together and to have these conversations. If you're not, I take I'm honored to be able to be these kids as parents. As the the story is you choose your parents. And I often have asked myself, why in the world would them kids choose? My God. But I'm honored that they would allow me to serve them so that, you know, becoming also is about you. For me, it is leaving. As I get older, I recognize I'm not going to be here forever. I need to be able to leave legacy. And this is a way for me to do so. That us having conversation about your life and how life should be for you. And I'm not saying that I'm telling you how your life should be, but to give you a guideline and a principle on operating in that space, that's important to me. I do not want to leave my children here blind, and I do want you to become who God has destined you to be, because in that is the best living that you can ever experience. You gain no greater than being able to serve God, serve his people, so that he can say, if you're looking for him to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's what it's all about. Baby girl, thank you. I love you. We're going to do this again. Bye.